Welcome to Replace Your Paycheck. I am Robert Lettin, and with me is Francisco. Tell me your last name.
Valdivieso.
That's why
It's actually
I didn't
phonetic.
pronounce it.
It's phonetic.
It's phonetic.
It is.
And behind the camera with us is Dino, one of my favorite people. So Francisco does what I do.
We're in the same industry.
Same industry. And who do you work for?
Ameriprise Financial.
Ameriprise Financial, a great insurance company.
But we have different models though.
Then,
There's different ways of doing this business. You know, you do it one way,
Yeah.
you do it the other way.
and
And that's what makes it so special.
And which way is the right way?
I don't know. I mean, you're independent fully, and I'm not, right? I'm
Yeah.
like partly independent.
You're captured.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
You got your own office.
Yeah.
Which is great.
So you're in Lake Oswego.
Yep.
And how do people find you?
Word of mouth.
No, now that might be watching this. It's Francisco Ameriprise is.
Yeah,
on
but I'm not here to
Centerpoint.
market though. This is your deal. We're just here to talk shop. We're here to talk the market.
Do you see what I have to put up with? Oh my. Okay.
That's good stuff. That's
Yeah.
good stuff.
All right.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So what's that sheet? What is that? I'm being curious about 6 habits. What's your 6 habits? What does that mean?
Well, one used to be you, and I'm crossing you off. What I want to discuss is, let's say someone wins the lottery.
Sure.
Well, let's just
Whatever.
Let's say you started investing. What are the important things an investor needs to do to be successful? What do you have top 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, I think it's a mind frame, right? I mean, I think it all starts with a mind frame. Like sometimes people come into money, and if they don't have that right mind frame, it can be a disaster.
And what do you mean by mind?
Well, let's say you come up like what was that? What was the lottery 4 weeks ago? $1 billion.
Yeah.
Can you imagine winning $1 billion? Can you imagine someone winning $1 billion?
It's probably
like
all
in
of
some
it.
ways.
Yeah.
Listen, in some ways, like it sounds great, but it could be a burden. Think about it.
Well, it's a burden I'd like.
I know.
Yeah.
But some people can win $1 billion, and it can create more problems.
Yes.
Like it can create more problems.
Understood.
Because now there's more logistics involved.
Yes.
Attorneys,
Yeah.
financial advisors,
Yeah.
etc. Family members that you know existed, right?
Yep.
So if you're not in that right mind frame, there's a potential that burden becomes real.
So how do you?
That's where you come
what
in.
are your steps? Yes, and
My step
you.
would be, let's say, Joe Smith calls me up. He's like, "Hey man, I remember that $1 billion lottery?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I won it," right? I'm like, "Listen, Joe, do not tell anybody. Don't tell anyone yet. Tell your wife. Tell the kids. Come to me.
Won't the
We
media
will
take care
meet
of that?
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna sit down in this office right here, and we're gonna discuss it. And do not tell anybody. Get yourself in a good mind frame. Go on vacation maybe, and gather your thoughts before you do anything.
Okay. So
Anything.
I've heard a couple things. Mind frame and gather your thoughts.
Gather your thoughts.
About what? What is
Because
the mind frame?
It's almost like a state of panic, right? You're not going to panic when you win $1 billion, but think of the mind frame of being in panic. Your mind's scattered, right? And so the tendency in panic is to grab on for anything, life raft. You're going to sink, you're going to drown, whatever, right? The first tendency for most people will be let's buy a new house, let's buy a new car, let's go on an extravagant, not a little vacation, extravagant vacation. That's the panic. That's the mind frame. So gather your thoughts, consolidate all that stuff mentally. It all starts mental.
To what? Consolidate all that stuff to what?
Don't chase your first desire. Don't chase that first impulse.
Okay. So now we know what not to do.
What not to do.
What should you do?
Meet with us.
So do you think?
And we're going to tell them not to panic, to sit tight for 4 weeks, let it settle, let that excitement dissipate, right? It's that excitement that's going to get you. And then start making plans. And we're going to tell them, meet with your attorney, continue meeting with us. We'll devise a plan for you. We're going to invest you wisely. And that's how you do it.
Okay.
Because panic's the enemy.
Why would they meet with an attorney?
Oh, are you kidding? It's
No. No, I'm not.
I mean, that's because when you come into $1 billion or $500 million,
Okay.
it's not going to be as simple as keeping it in a safe or a checking account. They're going to open trusts, right? They got to protect that wealth.
Don't know.
Yeah, they're going to protect that wealth.
How does a trust protect your wealth?
Well, what do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean? How does...
Creditors? It depends what kind of trust you have, but they're protected from creditors.
Yeah, but credit, that's if you owe people money.
Fulfilling who you want to leave it to. Like, because you're going to find third cousins who find out you won $1 billion.
Yeah.
Right? You got to devise, through the help of an attorney, devise an account that will legally make it so you can't leave it to your random cousin.
Okay.
And we can't write those trusts. That's an attorney.
Yeah, I realize.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to me you've once again put the cart.
By the
in
way,
front of
we
the
know
horse.
each other. By the way, we know each other outside of work.
Yeah, we work out at 24 Hour Fitness.
Yeah.
And
Work
I
out.
see him there.
Work out.
I do. I have no idea what he does. I've seen you walk around and talk to a lot
Yeah.
of people, but I haven't seen you do.
And
too
we also
much.
have a shared hobby of playing guitar, and we have the same guitar teacher.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is great. Ed. Yeah. Ed can play anything, man.
That guy. This guy. This guy's good. This
Ed's
guy.
good. Yeah.
You.
I just last night I've been listening to whatever. Last night I'm like, I really want to hear this. I really want to learn this song. Ed's like, I don't know that song. I'm like, oh,
True.
Okay.
Yep.
So I get on my iPhone,
Yep.
put up the song. He listens to it once,
Yeah.
and he just like
And he's got
puts
it.
his ear towards the camera. Not camera, sorry. I'm looking at the camera. Towards the iPhone.
Yeah.
And he starts playing it.
Yep. Yeah. I've never seen anyone's fingers bend like his do around the frets to hold the strings down. They kind of.
I know.
They flatten it. They do. It's
Exactly.
He's so good.
He's really good.
Yeah.
He's really good.
He is
Yeah.
good.
Ed, if you're watching this.
Yeah. 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 Good for you. Ed.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
So anyway,
Yeah. I guess the first thing is they should work with someone like us.
yeah.
Don't try and do this on your own.
We're the quarterback. I always say we're the quarterback.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So, 'cause investing, because of the internet and all the people who know, like your barber and your house cleaner and they all know what you should be into, right? You should be in gold. You should be
Totally.
Yeah. It's a little bit more complicated. than
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm a big proponent of they should work with
Totally.
financial guys.
Absolutely.
Because it is a full-time job.
Fundamental.
Hopefully, but there's a lot of. This seems to me anyway. This is the one industry where you get a lot of do-it-yourself folks.
Yeah.
I can do this. It's easy. I bought this stock. I did that.
Totally.
I made millions. And,
When the markets are up, people can do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you hear a lot of boasting then too.
Totally.
So the one thing you don't hear about is they're losers. How much I lost.
Exactly.
Or I made $1 million. Yeah, but you lost $5 million to get to that.
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
what was that famous quote? How do you make $1 million
yeah.
for somebody?
Yeah.
You give them $5.
Yeah.
Give them $5.
Or what's the best way to become a millionaire? You become a billionaire, then start such and such a business, then you become a millionaire.
Right. So I do think it's crucial that they talk to one of us.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. An attorney on my list wouldn't be number one.
Okay. Well, I didn't say number one. I said we're number one. They meet with us first.
Did you really say that? I didn't hear that. Maybe we should play this back, but I didn't hear that. What I heard was call an attorney. No, you don't. No.
Whatever. Depends what the goals are. Everyone's going to have different goals, but that goes back to gathering the thoughts, letting the excitement dissipate. I think that's the first part, is the whole mental game of it. And it doesn't have to be a lottery. Sometimes inheritance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or or
Let's-
bonus at
yeah.
a job.
Okay. So I think one thing that runs through all of this, whether you win the lottery or have a 401k
Sure.
or not, is developing some kind of plan.
Yeah.
That drives me nuts. So that's why we came up with the title for this and the workbook
6
we've
Habits.
done. No, it's the. You want to stop interrupting me instead of? It's the workbook. I told you about that workbook.
Oh, yeah.
It's a 40 page.
Right.
It's
Your book.
It's being published right now.
Yeah. Sweet.
And it's about replacing your paycheck. So for me, if the goal for all this stuff, investing all this stuff, is to create some kind of monthly paycheck.
Yeah.
One that could last your lifetime. Your spouse is assuming that we die first, the spouse, and then children, and go on. Then there's the legacy that goes. So to me, that's the first thing you want to develop is some kind of concept of how much money you need.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because once you do that, then the rest of it, you can be quite the philanthropist.
Whatever.
Whatever
you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you can start all kinds of foundations, help all kinds of people, get back, create stuff. But first, I think you need to figure out what it is you need
Absolutely.
to sustain your lifestyle.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And in the whole craziness of having come into money that first month, it's hard to think of that stuff. That's why I go back to the whole mental.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's
I know. Wouldn't that be great? Here. You just won $1 billion. Okay.
yeah, it'd be great, but there are downsides to it. There would be downsides to it.
What do you have, a cloud over you or something?
No.
There's always a
It's
downside.
just no, there's not a downside. It's great. It'd be fantastic. But people don't realize the other things that are attached to that, because you're still the same person.
Yes. And
If you won $1 billion tonight, you're gonna wake up the same exact Rob.
Yeah.
Except that you're gonna have this.
I'm going to go buy your house if I get $1 billion. I'm coming to your neighborhood and I'm going to buy
Nothing will change.
Yeah, you be moved.
Nothing would change, except that you have.
Yeah. Hopefully, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't want to dwell on the negatives.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm just as an advisor, we have to be aware of those potentials, you know, and people's tendency to want to go do this and do that,
Right.
and it gets them in trouble. That's your job, to prevent that.
One of many. And that's,
Exactly.
I'm sure that's
Exactly.
on your list.
Exactly.
So if you are creating a paycheck,
Yep.
so would you quit your job immediately if you won that money?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Me.
Not you.
I would
Joe.
not. I don't think
As
I
an
would.
investor. Okay.
I don't think I would.
I'm
Yep. Yeah. I
asking
think
you
I
as counseling
probably-
the person who did.
Of course, I say this now, but I don't think that much would change.
Well, it kind of contradicts everything you said 10
For
minutes
me,
now, but
for me, everyone's different.
we're all beginning to realize how different you are. So you want to hold on to your job,
I would, for sure.
start thinking about where to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
So what we have found is, and through the Trinity report, all that stuff,
Right.
is that a 4% withdrawal rate out of
Oh, the 4% rule.
yes
Yeah.
can
It's a famous
sustain
rule.
you, can replace your paycheck.
Yeah.
So if you can figure out how much money it takes to replace your paycheck, invest that, start doing the 4% to replace that.
And that's 4% what? Per year?
You're gonna start on me, aren't you? Yeah. What do you mean? 5%? Yes, it's a year.
4% per year. Got
Yeah,
it.
it's
Okay.
4%.
Yeah.
And why is it the 4% so successful?
Why is it successful? What do you mean? I mean, it's industry. 4% is an industry accepted withdrawal rate. They beat inflation.
And that's kind of
last 25
strong
years,
industry
25 years?
accepted.
Yeah.
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 Well, yes. I don't know when they wrote it. 60s, 70s. I don't know. It's older than that. But
Right.
Well, it could be. I don't know. The Trinity guys. Yeah. So the idea is you want to spend less than what your portfolio is generating as in earnings.
Got it.
Right. So if you're withdrawing 4%, you want to be invested so that you're earning 5, 6, 7, or 8%.
Got it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then that means your portfolio.
So you never really spend down the principal.
Correct.
Yeah, got it.
So it can be passed on to
Yeah,
your spouse,
exactly.
your children, their children, their children,
Yep.
And all the way
Got
through.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
So the whole idea being that when you're 90, there's still a big capital base.
Yes.
Got it.
Yes. That you will give to your spouse or
Yeah.
whoever, and then
Kids,
your children. And,
yeah, exactly.
Or if you don't have any of those things, then that's the wealth you can then give to
Right.
your
Totally.
St. Jude's. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
OPB.
Exactly.
Yeah. All
Whatever
that. Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So
I like it.
with that in mind, what is a successful portfolio? How would you describe one?
I mean, it's going to depend for every person, right? But more or less diversified, access to different markets, whether it's U.S. markets, global markets, commodities, stocks, bonds.
So it's worldwide diversification.
Yeah.
And
Not over diversification, but also not under diversification. You got to have that optimal diversification.
And how is that determined?
What, the optimization?
Yes. What's optimal? Yes. This is why I think individuals need people like us,
Yeah.
because we don't even do that. Because there's a whole army behind you and behind me.
Yeah.
Thousands of
Totally.
people who do
Well,
the
what
research.
we have to determine is their risk tolerance, their
Yep.
goals,
Yep.
personality, frankly,
Yep.
because everyone's different personality-wise.
No.
I mean, some people hate the idea of being down 1 year. Some people have no problem being down 1 year. That's a factor, right? And so our job is to help determine their own attitude towards money and downside risk in general. And we help design a portfolio for them with all those variables in mind.
What gives volatility or the up and down in a portfolio? What causes that?
Market fluctuation.
Yes. In what asset class?
What do you
All
mean?
of them? Stocks,
yeah.
bonds?
Absolutely.
So they
Yeah.
all fluctuate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does one fluctuate more than?
I would say stocks, though. I mean,
Okay.
generally.
So if someone doesn't like a lot
I mean,
of
unless it was the
volatility-
bond market a couple of years ago, but generally stocks, yeah.
Yeah. So if someone doesn't like a lot of volatility, you would have less stock.
Yeah, exactly.
And do you have a minimum of that allocation?
Like are you asking what my most conservative portfolio, what's the minimum?
No, I'm not. What I'm asking you is, do you have a minimum allocation to stocks? In my world, what I try and the idea with taking the 4% rule,
Yeah.
that you have to earn more than that,
Right.
and it seems to me
On average.
yes. So it seems to me if you start putting in less than 50% of stocks into your portfolio, that return rate starts
Exactly.
to shrink.
Exactly. That's
So-
what I thought you were asking.
You did?
Yeah.
Well,
That was kind of my question was.
and you flipped it back on me.
Yeah, I did.
You are so good. So,
Yeah, you don't want too little. Too little. I mean, because sometimes clients don't realize they love the idea of no fluctuation, yet they still want growth. Mm-hmm. You notice that? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah, who wouldn't?
Yeah, clients come in all the time and they say, I don't want fluctuation,
But I want
but I want the growth.
8%
Yeah.
return.
Exactly. So they need to have an element of stocks. They need it. That's a general statement.
Yes.
They do need it.
And for me, that is 50%.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
to-
you know what? Believe it or not, I'm not disagreeing with
What?
you. Yeah, 50%. I would say that's probably about the optimal minimum.
To get the return better than 4%,
Yeah.
right? So that
Over
your
time.
portfolio will continue to grow.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, because any less, then it becomes a battle with long-term inflation. Mm-hmm. It really does. Mm-hmm. It might be cute year to year. Like you might have a 2008 where the stock market's down, 35%, and the low stock portfolios feel great. But that's just 1 year.
Right. And then the next year,
Exactly.
2009, it came back
Exactly.
to 30%
Exactly.
plus some
Exactly.
to help with the inflationary. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And we can't guess. We don't know what in 2008. We didn't know what 2009 was going to be, or 2010 for that matter. And if you're not in those stocks, it's going to be hard to recover.
Right. And if you sell out of those stocks, you may never.
Man,
recover.
there are terrible stories, by the way,
Yeah.
of people selling out March of 2009, which was the bottom, and you can't recover.
Right.
Mathematically, you can't recover if you
Right.
sell out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll show you the math.
Yeah. Wealth destroyed by panicking. Right. I mean, they don't.
Again, I go back to page 1, the mental state. It goes back to that.
And back to us that we
Back to
have
us.
we have to
Yeah.
hold their hand and get them through that and make sure.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah.
So do you mind if I wrap this up so we can go on to the next one?
Yeah.
So we're gonna end on this, and we'll be back in a moment, and we're gonna pick up on how do you construct a investment portfolio and who does that. So thanks for watching. We do appreciate you and this guy, and we'll
Yes.
be
Thank
right
you.
back.